Greetings, fellow sentient beings of the planet Earth. I hope you are well today, wherever you are, whether it's the morning, the evening, the afternoon, whether you're just getting up or just going to bed. I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. Today I am on TikTok, I hope, and I'm on YouTube and possibly Facebook. What I've done is binned Instagram because A, nobody ever bothers watching it on Instagram, and B, my bandwidth is an issue. So I thought we'll try and see what I've got going at the moment. We've still got the phone sellotaped above the laptop in the professional setup studio. But that's on data. And I've got the laptop on the Wi-Fi. So hopefully we won't have the problems that we had on Monday with lots and lots of glitches on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, if you want the full experience, you might want to go across to YouTube, and that is at Sky Spirit Creations. I don't know if I'll get kicked off TikTok for saying that. It's quite possible. So I'll probably not say that as much. So thank you, Mandy. All seems to be working well on TikTok. And good morning, Lynn, and good morning, KLG. How are you doing on YouTube? And we have nobody on Facebook as usual, which is fine because everybody on Facebook's boring. So what we're going to do today, we're going to have a look at a little bit of a dip our toe into the astrology, what's going on in the skies, and then we're going to do a collective reading. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, and it could be something directed at you. It's a great way to get a message to you if somebody's trying to get a message to you, or if the universe wants you to know something. And then we will do the 12 double card pickup. So that's when you choose your number, and we try to get you some answers. If you've got any questions, if you'd like a 1 card reading or something like that as we go through, try to wait till the end. I'm on for about an hour, but the reason that I say that is that it's really difficult to pick up the questions as they go past on sometimes on the chat. So it's usually better if you wait till the end, but I will try to pick anything up if I can be very eagle-eyed, but I'm not very eagle-eyed, so it's a bit difficult. I am trying to come up with a solution. If you keep seeing my eyes going like this and like this and like this and like this, it's because I've got my phone above the laptop, so I'm trying to do this to like sort of, so I'm not just like totally no eye contact with everybody. Good morning, Lorraine. How are you doing? I hope you're all right, my dear. Thank you very much for the lovely comments. It's nice to see you here. Right. I've been invited you to co-host. I don't know what that means. And another one. So I don't know what that means either. I don't know whether to press don't show for 10 minutes. This is all TikTok. It's all new to me. I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just going to let that go because 2 people have just asked to collaborate, which is a bit strange because I don't know either of them. Right, so let's talk about astrology. What's going on in the skies? Okay, now we know tomorrow we've got a full moon. We're going to mention that. It's the buck moon in Capricorn, which is always a good one. But today the moon is like traveling into Capricorn, and it's going to connect with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. So what this, I can see my hand over in the corner. If you're on TikTok, you can't see that. On YouTube, I've got a dual screen going on. What this means is that it can cause trouble. I'm reading that KLG. It means they want a gift battle. Just ignore. It's really distracting because they just keep popping up. That's the 3rd one on the screen now. I'll have to find a way to stop that. But anyway, right, so we've got this moon going into Capricorn, squaring up and causing some problems. Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries, and Jupiter is going into Cancer. Jupiter's in Cancer. So this could mean problems with authority. So problems at work, problems with people telling you what to do, problems with responsibility and power struggles. So it's sorry, honestly, I get so distracted by reading the chat. You're going to be facing RICO charges for paying Kid Rock to take me out for Illuminati Freemason. Is that directed at me, Jennifer? I don't think I'm going to get charged with RICO. It must be to do with Diddy, is it? Maybe? Or somebody? Maybe it's not Diddy. No, it's for paying Kid Rock. I don't know what that means. You'll have to explain it a bit better, Jennifer. Right. Responsibility and power struggles today, problems with those who are in charge of you. So just be aware of that. That's something to do with what's going on in the sky. So you might want to step away from any sort of situations that make you want to fly off the handle, particularly if they're at work or it's somebody who is in charge of you, so to speak. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, tomorrow it's full moon day. So, first of all, you'll feel that energy higher if you're sensitive to energies. It's a full moon in Capricorn. It's actually the end of a 6-month cycle. It's really focused, with it being Capricorn, it's focused on your career path. It's focused on your reputation and your accomplishments. So it's a time when you might want to reflect on what you've achieved. And it's also a time, with it being a new moon, it's a fabulous time to set those intentions. Why not set them for the next Capricorn full moon? So you've got a full year to achieve something. Or if that feels like it's a little bit too much time and you're a bit impatient, why not set them for the next moon? So you could set them for a 28-day cycle, which I think is always better, because if I set an intention for like 12 months time, I would have probably forgotten what the intention was by the time we get to 12 months down the line. So the next Capricorn moon, the intention would be something different. So, and thank you for the gifts, Mandy. Thank you very much. I've just spotted that. If anybody does that and I miss it, I do apologize, but I had trouble actually keeping track of what was going on YouTube. So why I decided to bring TikTok into the mix, I don't know, it's just to spice things up and make it enjoyable. I'm really bright colours on TikTok compared to YouTube, which is weird. I haven't got a filter on. It must just be the way that the camera works. But I also realised, sorry to digress, you can put like makeup on in TikTok live studio. You can put filters on, so it does all your makeup for you. It's like, this is great. Never need to put lipstick on again. I'll just like stick it on with TikTok. So I'm working on that for the future, although I'll probably look a bit strange. Right, so tomorrow, that buck moon, I just wanted to show you something. In fact, no, will we do that? We'll do that on YouTube, yeah. So the buck moon, I'm going to explain if you're on TikTok and can't see. What I've put on the screen is an illustration that I did, because I'm an artist as well. And that's the buck moon. Now, the buck moon is really powerful, and it's about, I'm going to read out what the buck moon's about for you. So, allow the powerful buck moon to reignite your passion and strengthen your ambitions. Now is the time to focus on setting your intentions for future growth and new projects. You are stronger and more resilient than you know, so take the initiative and don't be afraid to lead the way for others. By sharing your dreams, you can inspire those around you. Now, that's about the buck moon. Now, tie that in with the fact that we've got the moon is in Capricorn as well, which is all about work and power, authority, reputation. You can see that that combination of the buck moon and it being in Capricorn are huge for work and career. So if you're thinking about a change, or if you're looking for work, or good morning, Mr. Steve, how are you doing? I don't think I've seen you for a while. It's a great time tomorrow to finalize work plans or to make new decisions, take new paths to do with work. So that's really, really highlighted. It's really good news if you're looking at changing career, I think. So if you really want to change a new job, you could set your intention tomorrow, right, by 28 days, next full moon, I'm going to have a new job, and back that up with some positive affirmations. And Bob's your uncle, or in my case, my stepdad, but there we are. Right, okay, so we're now going to do the collective reading. So I have shuffled these cards very, very well before I came on, always do. Shuffling is, of course, very important with the tarot. I'm going to pull 3 cards. We're going to do a 3-card collective reading. This could be directed at you, or it might be a more overarching reading. I used to think, it's like, it could be to do with, like more a global issue, more a world issue, more about everybody around you. A bit like if you look at the astrology things in a newspaper and it's split into 12, and it's like, how can everybody be either one of 12, It's that generic thing, isn't it? I used to think that with the 3-card reading. I used to think it was more a generic thing. But so many times it's been really direct. Somebody has said, and well, my goodness, that was so important to me. So I was like, you know what, That's really interesting because it's like it could be a really good way to for universe, the source, your guardian angel, your spirit guide, the tarot, however you see that working. It's a really good way for that message to get to you, isn't it? So we all have different beliefs about how the tarot works, or even if the tarot works. Some people are absolutely convinced it doesn't. And there I've got another invitation to co-host. How very odd. Um, but however you subscribe to it working, if you do, then this is the ideal opportunity for that message. If you don't think it works, stick around, okay? Because I do, otherwise I wouldn't bother doing this. I work as an artist as well. I'd create a channel about making paintings and hopefully sell some work. But I'm doing this because I believe in it and I believe that it helps people and I just love doing it. I'm absolutely fascinated with tarot because I find it to be very accurate and I find it helps people. Right, okay, I'm just blethering on. I do apologise. Right, do we do this actually? No, we'll do it here. Right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right, brilliant cards today. If you're thinking about relationships or if love is on your mind, because we've got the 10 of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups, and then we've got the High Priestess. Okay, so what do these cards mean? What do these cards mean? So they're all very much, well, these two, I'd say, very much emotional, very much about relationships. Now, that 10 of Cups is the traditional, the original, like domestic bliss, marriage, committed relationship, finding your true self with somebody, finding that perfect partner. But team that with the Knight of Cups. That Knight of Cups, take a look at that card. He is literally, he or she, remember in tarot, all the court cards can be male or female. That is a knight in shining armor. So these two cards together are like, okay, what we've got is a knight coming into the story, coming into your story. So if you've been waiting for somebody to literally pick you up and swoop you off your feet, then this could be your lucky day, your lucky week, we'll say. Like, let's stretch that energy a little bit further. But it feels like that knight energy, the Knight of Cups, that romance is very close to you. And it feels like should that arrive, you would be well advised to take somebody up on their offer or give love a chance, because it feels like you have got something really good to look forward to in means of domestic bliss, love and fulfillment on a relationship level. Okay, thank you very much, Fern. So these are really good cards if you're either looking for love, or if you're in love and you want to move it up a level to that more committed level, or if you are looking to strengthen a relationship with somebody you're already with, or even yourself. And I don't mean to be vague there. It's not like I'm covering all my bases and saying it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. It literally could be all those things, because the tarot is nuanced. It's up to you to join the dots. I'm just handing you the dots, okay? But these are really good cards emotionally, and they're really good for emotional fulfillment. Minimalist theatre, yes, you can ask a question, but I will ask if you can wait till the end. And if you put QQQ in front of the questions, what I do is I go on to questions when I'm finished at the end of the collective reading, and the double 12 card pickup will go on to questions. And if you put QQQ, it'll help me find those questions at the end, because if I took questions as we're going through, then I would literally be here for most of the day, I think, possibly. So those are great cards. Now, the other card, because you know there was 3 cards involved. This is the High Priestess. We love the High Priestess on this channel because A, it's my favourite card and I'm the reader, so I get to say what my favourite card is. But B, the High Priestess is all about that inner wisdom, inner strength, intuition, okay? And pairing it with these cards is a beautiful thing to behold, okay? Because we've got this knight who's coming towards you, who's bringing this fulfillment, this emotional fulfillment. And then we've got this is you, okay? This is going to be you going inside and using your intuition in this situation. So I feel that this is somebody that you get that feeling with. It's somebody that you know when you meet somebody and you just like click with them and you can't work out why it is. You can't work out sort of what's going on between you, but it's like that. It's the original chemistry. It's the original, you don't know what's happening. Minimalist theatre. I'm just noting your question down. I'll have to find a better way of doing this, and I will. I'm actually got something I want to try over the weekend, so we shall try that. But today I'm just trying to keep up. Right. So it's somebody, your knight is somebody that you get and they get you, and it's like you literally have this connection with them that you can't put your finger on and you don't know why. And it's like, I guess, like if you are a romantic, it's that love at first sight feeling. It's that star-crossed lovers. It's that knowing, but without knowing how you know that somebody's meant for you. So aren't these such beautiful cards for relationships? It's like that intuitive side that knows that this is the right thing. It's like the integrity and the beautiful romance of the knight in shining armor, and it's all leading to such a happy resolution and a position where you'll feel probably happier than you felt for a while. And honestly, I think these are probably the nicest cards I've done in a collective reading for a long time. So if you're resonating with that, if your high priestess inside you is going, this is for me, then please accept the reading because it's beautiful. And I also say, when we've got something positive like this, accept it, okay? Because we're talking about manifestation here. So when you accept something into your life, you're changing your energy. If you're like, yes, this is me, then you're straight away, you're changing your energy, law of attraction, to attract a like energy. So perhaps this wasn't your, let's say, destiny, although I don't believe in destiny as such. I think we have free will and it changes all the time. But if this was planned for you at some level, right, but you were like, nah, and then you accept it, it's like you're aligning yourself with it, so it's going to happen for you. So accept the reading, okay, and expect it to happen. Talk it into existence. Tell somebody. And hi Cassandra, how are you doing? Yes, you've caught me live. I hope that YouTube is behaving today, because yesterday it didn't. Today I've got TikTok on my phone data, so it should work, but I've only got not a lot of phone data because I'm very poor, so we'll have to see how that goes. There's all sorts of problems when you have no money and live in the middle of the countryside and can't afford decent data. Right, so these are great cards, brilliant cards. Let's put them away because we're going to go on to the main party piece of the live in the mornings. And if you're new to this live, I am on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, although nobody's still watching on Facebook, so I might as well pull the stream and we'll just leave it there for the minute. If YouTube's working okay, the broadband seems to be holding up. I'm on those platforms at 10:30 a.m. UK time, and that is Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes I have to miss it because, life gets in the way and it's just one of those things. So, I've got another request to co-host, and you might as well give up because I don't know what you want, so I'm just going to ignore it. Ooh, there's some noise started happening. Oh, it's my phone just made a funny noise because somebody's given me a flash goal. Thank you. I don't know what that means. Right. Okay. So we're going to do the 12 double card. KLG, you told me what to call this and I forget entirely. Basically, I'm going to put down 12 sets of 2 cards. It's a 12 double card pickup, I think we'll call it. And what happens is, if you've got a question, think of that question in your mind, okay? And choose a number. Always choose the first one that comes into your head. Don't second guess yourself, because your intuitive voice is like, hello, I said number 2 to start with. I did. And like now you're thinking 4. So go with your first thought, right? If I've put that number 2 in your mind there now, that was my fault. I shouldn't have said a number, should I? But I'm going to choose number 2 for myself because I always forget to choose a number. KLG, 12 double card pickup. That's the one. Right. So think of your question. Think of a number between 1 and 12. Or if you're drawn to, then think of more than one number. Choose as many numbers as you like. Numbers are free here, as is the reading. So choose your numbers, think of your question, or keep your mind blank and choose a number and accept that the universe might have a message for you that you need to know. I sometimes think that's a good one because sometimes, we want the answer to a question and the the answer just isn't there, or it's not what we want to hear. And sometimes I get the feeling that you've got like a guardian angel on your shoulder who's like, hello, hello, I want to tell you this, but you're not asking the right questions. So sometimes if you can just keep your mind blank, choose a number, then you might get that answer that you didn't even know you wanted to ask the question. Hello, Becca, how are you doing? So you can try it like that. Or if you really, really want to cash in, what you can do is just keep your mind blank and listen to everything and choose what resonates with you. Because we always say that all the tarot cards, and certainly all the combinations, have got a message, and a valuable message for you all. Thank you, Mr. Steve. So let's get on with it. I've been blethering on for too long. This is why this live is getting longer and longer and longer in the morning. It's because I can't shut up. Read. Let's go. Okay. If you, I should say this, if you're on TikTok, you won't see me put the cards down. If you're on YouTube, you will see me. If you are on TikTok and want to see the cards, you'll have to go to YouTube and you'll find me at Sky Spirit Creations. So let's get these cards down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm gonna go around again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This reading will also be available on YouTube as a recording. So if you wanted to watch this afterwards, you could do. Or you wanted to share it with somebody who you think should hear something, you could do. Go to YouTube to do it. Right, let us begin. So I'm going to choose today. We're going to go for number 9. So if you've chosen number 9, let's see what cards we've got. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. We've got the 10 of Cups back on the scene. And like, you will have seen me shuffling. I'm a really good shuffler. But we've also got the Queen of Swords reversed. So this is a different story this time. Okay. So 10 of Cups, Queen of Swords reversed. Right. What we've got here is we've got an issue that you need to clear. We've got an energy that you need to clear in order to reach your state of domestic bliss. And this is what I call the bitch card, okay? The Queen of Swords reversed is somebody who uses their words to hurt you, somebody who can be manipulative, somebody who's very clever, but they're really good with words. You know, somebody who can wrap like words around you and sort of they bend your words and they make, you know, what is it called when you bend somebody's words? I can't remember what it is. It's that live stream blank head coming into play there. Somebody who, you know, makes you feel like you can't say right for wrong. It's like, this is somebody who uses their intellect and uses that mercurial air sense, because the Queen of Swords is an air sign, a Libra, an Aquarius, a Gemini, who are all really, really good with words. Yeah, yap, 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 yap. But they're very, very clever and they're good communicators. But when you get the reversals, when we get the dark side of that Queen, we get that when words are used against you, when words are, you know, something which manipulates rather than hurts, rather than helps. Yeah, so this Queen is getting in your way of domestic bliss. So if you've chosen number 9, it feels like there is an energy that needs cleared. Now with a court card with the tarot loves to be like vague and complicated, right? Because this could be an actual person. I'm saying it's an air sign or somebody with that sort of personality. If you know your astrology, you'll know that when we say, for example, I'm a Libra, so I'm an air sign. That means my sun is in Libra, but I have a moon in Leo and I have an ascendant in Aquarius. I'm actually double air because Aquarius is air as well. But it means that, yeah, it means that I'm sort of very air. But say if I had my sun in Libra, but then loads and loads of planets in, like, I don't know, Cancer or you know, Sagittarius, I'd be more like that sign. So when we say, okay, it's an air sign, think about somebody with the air qualities rather than going, oh, well, it can't be such and such because they're a Leo, right? So bear that in mind. Somebody could be somebody who is an air sign or has the qualities of an air sign, or As I said, it can be nuanced and it can be complex. It could be a situation rather than a person that needs to be cleared in order for you to get to this goal. Now, the great thing is that this is such a powerful card, the Ten of Cups. And literally when it shows up, it's like tick the box for domestic bliss because it's on the cards for you. And on TikTok, I've got a lovely flowery crown on. How lovely. I don't know how that works either, by the way. I will work these things out one day. So there's something needs cleared. Either somebody needs to get out the way or something needs to get out the way. It could be a person. Good morning, Cheyenne Blue. How are you doing? It could be a person that you need to avoid. I was going to say like it could be somebody you need to get rid of, but like I don't want to be held responsible if you actually get rid of them. So don't mean get rid of literally. I mean like avoid or stay away from or don't listen to, but it's somebody with a darker side to them who's trying to prevent you, to keep you from your Ten of Cups moment, your bliss. All right, so those are interesting cards because we always say forewarned is forearmed, which means that you can be on the lookout for this person or this situation which is preventing you from getting to your blissful situation. Something's just popped into my head there, and literally I'm going to give you another alternative. If this could be a person, this could be a situation, bear in mind that you are a person too. Are you the Queen of Cups reversed? Are you limiting yourself with your own attitude? Okay, are you just being a bitter old Queen of Swords reversed? Yeah, we need you to be more upright because the Queen of Swords isn't a bad woman or person, human. She or he is just clever with words, which can be used for manipulation. But when that person's that way up, they're just really a positive energy. So that's what we need to do. We need to identify this issue and get rid of it. So that was number 9. So moving on to some more cards. We are going to go for number 6 now. Number 6. What have we got? We've got the 5 of Wands and we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, we've got another queen on the table. I do like this. So what do these cards mean? Let's have a look at them. Right. What we've got this time, we've got a better situation, okay, in the fact that you're not being limited by this. However, there's still a little bit of irksome stuff going on around you. What we've got, the 5 of Wands is about competition. It's about backbiting. It can be people working from a position of jealousy or envy. If it's to do with work, say if you'd ask me a question in your mind about work, this would be people competing with you to get what you have or to sort of unseat you from your throne, i.e. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be very easily about work. Now this Queen of Pentacles is often to do with money and work as well, so this might be very work related. But luckily, because if we're looking at this queen this way up, this would be a different story because this would be a threat. Okay, but how we're reading this with this card this way up, with our Queen of Pentacles with her throne like underneath her butt quite firmly and her crown on her head properly, what we have here, hi Tracy. Tracy, if you could try to leave questions till the end, and because it's really difficult for me to see them as they go past because I haven't worked out a way to do that yet, but I've just scribbled that one down because I've just seen it. So if you hang around till the end, don't worry Tracy, it's just me. I need to get a better system. If you hang around till the end, then I'll try to work out how I will try to work out for the future how I can do this. But back to these cards in my hand, because this queen is this way up, this is saying, okay, you are the queen. Whether you're male or female, I don't care. You can be either sex when it comes to tarot, or whatever gender you want, all right? The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's in charge, somebody who's like on the ball, all right? They can literally, good morning, Gavin. They can literally just wave that magic wand and get things moving, and they are somebody who's a good leader, all right? So with these cards combined, we're looking at, all right, you can identify where this little... These are kids as well. When you look at the illustration, they're children battering each other with sticks, okay? They're not doing much harm. It's like niggly. It's like a little bird tap, 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 tap. Somebody who's just getting on your nerves, or a group of them, all right? But as the queen, you have sovereign capability to wipe these little irritants out of the way. Okay, so it's like identify them and get rid of them, because it's going to smooth the way forward for you, because sometimes little niggles can grow, can't they, and become bigger niggles, for want of a better word. Okay, and that can cause you problems. So it's like saying, okay, this could be embryonic, this sort of opposition, challenge, jealousy could be just the stirrings of unrest around you, particularly if it's at work. um so put your crown on, all right, if you chose number 6, and get rid of these people, all right? And I mean, I don't mean that literally, again, just, put them right. Stand your ground, have your say, put something right. You'd see these cards, the ideal place for these cards would be workplace gossip. When things have been said about you at work, and it's generally coming from a place of envy or something like that. And in this situation, this would be you sticking that crown on and saying to people, coming right into their face and going, look, I know what you've been talking about. I know what you've been saying. This isn't true because X, Y, Z. Now you need to stop it. Yeah. So it's that kind of situation. So try to identify where that fits in your life. Remember, I don't give you the answers. I give you the dots. It's up to you to join them. So interesting cards, those are really interesting cards. And we're going over to this screen. If you're on TikTok, you won't see me change screen. If you want to join us on YouTube, it's at Sky Spirit Creations. I'm going to go for number 1. What do we have? I was looking at that card before we started. We've got the 2 of Swords reversed. We've got the 6 of Pentacles upright. So what do these cards mean? Right. Basically, you've got a decision to make, okay, but it feels like it's something that you've been putting off. It feels like you are caught between a rock and a hard place. That's your 2 of Swords energy. Take a look at that card. There's a woman sitting with a blindfold on. She's holding 2 swords with the moon above her head. Basically, she's like, she doesn't know which way to go. When we turn her upside down, the problem becomes even more pronounced, okay? And it's like, you don't know what to do for the best, right? Because there's a moon on there, that signifies an intuitive state. Because we're upside down, it's like you're blinded. You can't use your intuition. You can't see which way to go. Freedom for life. We haven't read number 7 yet. I will come to it. So this is indicating that there's a real decision to be made, and teaming this, looking at the relationship between that and the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles, excuse me, is the card of giving and receiving. So I believe that there's a decision to be made. It's either something that you're focusing on now, making, or it's about to come into your sphere of influence, okay? It's going to be a tough one about give and take, all right? You might think that you're giving too much and somebody is taking too much, yeah? And you might be thinking about sort of, you should really say something to them. You should put this right, or you might need to make a decision like not to be that person, not to be the person that's giving, and not, receiving, okay? Because there's this unbalanced sense here. And this card has actually got, this guy's holding a pair of scales and he's sharing out his gold between these 2 poor people. I should be one of those poor people right now, but he's sharing out what he's got in his hand, but teaming it with this, it's like this imbalance is what's causing the problem. And this is where your dilemma was the word I was trying to think of on Monday, I think. How has that just come into my head? So there's a dilemma there, and it's to do with this give and take, to do with giving and receiving. You can feel like you're giving too much. You might feel like you're the one taking too much, but I think that it's more likely to be you're feeling like you're giving too much. It's easy to do, especially in situations where we love somebody, or, we're very, very emotionally attached to them. It's easy to give and give and give and give and lose sight of our own needs, okay? But we know we've got that. Remember, we've got the moon on this card, so we're talking about an intuitive situation as well. It's like when you know deep down inside that what you're doing's wrong, and you shouldn't be doing this, and you're being a bit of a mug, yeah, but you sort of like kid yourself moving forward. You're like, no, I'll just let this go. And it's like, you need to, basically, we need you to be this way up, and we need that decision made, because the balance excuse me, the balance needs addressed, because If you continue doing this, you're going to end up in a 10 of wands situation with that emotional baggage, excuse me, being weighed down by this that situation, that unbalanced sort of flow of energy between two people. Okay, so it really needs addressed before it gets you down, before it affects your energy. Okay, so try to identify where that is. The message from the cards is to identify it and to put that right. Okay, right, so that was number one, and we're going to go straight to number two now. So our cards for number two, oh, we've got Temperance, and we've got the Eight of Cups. These are really clear cards. So let's have a look. What do these cards mean? Right. These are really clear. This is a really great message. I always like the Eight of Cups because it's like pretty straightforward. It's like, when it's up this way, is particularly, this is like you have hung around in a place where you should have left. Could be a mental state, could be in a physical location, could be with somebody that you knew was wrong for you. So it's somewhere you should have left a long time ago, but you didn't. You just sat there thinking it might get better. Or if it's your own mental state that you should have left, a frame of mind, okay, then you've stayed there too long. It's like, do you ever get that? You sort of, every day feels like Groundhog Day. And then one day you think, I had a moment like that. I mean, I have many moments like that. But this morning I thought, when I was actually preparing for this, I was like, wow, it's July. Like, that is 7 months into the year. And it feels like it was literally just December. And this year's gone by so quickly. And what have I accomplished? Nothing. So it's like that sort of wow. And my mindset has been just do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'll do it like a few months down the line. And all of a sudden, we're looking at the back end of another year and those things are still not done. That is an Eight of Cups reversed moment, but on a very sort of superficial level. It can be much more effective than that, affected. It's like, it could be that you're in an abusive relationship that you needed to get out of. It could be that you're just in a depressed mind state and you've allowed yourself to wallow in it, okay, which you need to get out of. So it's those sort of like situations, mindsets, or people that you need to move away from. Okay, this is upside down because you've stayed around too long. What we need is for this to be this way up, because the illustration on this card, remember, illustrations are everything with the tarot, then this is a person who doesn't even look back. They head for the mountains and happiness. Okay, when you see mountains in the tarot, think about challenges. Think how difficult it is to climb a mountain, but when you get to the top of it, think how much easier it is to see things in perspective, and you can see all your life mapped out around you. You can see the path that you took. You can probably see the mistakes that you've made. You can see things that went right, things that went wrong. Okay, so it's like climb to the top of the mountain to get that perspective. So if you leave this situation, all right, it might feel like it's going to be tough, but trust me, with this card, when you get to the top of that mountain, things look so much better. And it's like you get to a destination. The significance of this guy, and you can see that he's like striding away from those cups, okay? He doesn't look back. That's the message. It's like once you get moving, you don't look back, okay? So stop being the reversal of this card and start being the upright of this card. Because let's move on to the other card in my hand. What we've got here is judgment. Now, judgment is very often about taking a new path. So these two cards work brilliantly together because it's like you've hung around for too long here. It's time to take a new path. This card often comes up when there's a crossroads. So it's like now or never. Choose this way or this way, but choose a way and stick to it, okay? Because it's time for action. Now, it also calls you to make that judgment, whether that's about your situation mentally, or being with somebody, or being in a situation, okay? You're being asked to judge, to use your judgment about that. Look at it clearly. Take those rose-tinted glasses off. Or perhaps it's time to be a bit realistic and admit to yourself that you're wrong about something. Admit to yourself that you're in the wrong situation, the wrong job, you're with the wrong person. You're just not achieving what you need to achieve. Okay, use that judgment. Imagine that you're talking to your best friend about something, and they're asking you to be honest with them, and you're like, well, yeah, actually, like, your partner's awful, or your job's rubbish, or whatever. Okay, so imagine that you can be that honest with yourself, right? And sit and just see things clearly, and then make that change and take that new path. Exercise your judgment, move away from that poor situation, and let's get you moving towards the mountains. Those are really, really good cards. But it's like, with so much of the tarot, it's like, okay, you need to, thank you very much, Mandy, you need to make the moves. This is, just because you see this doesn't mean there's like a massive revelation and everything is going to sort of change, because nothing changes unless you change it. Okay, so you need to do that. Take it as a nudge, a kick in the ass, all right, to make those changes. Right, back onto my card screen again. I'm sorry to repeat myself. If you're on TikTok, you won't see this screen. You'll only see it on YouTube, which is at Sky Spirit Creations. Right, so we've got the Three of Cups reversed, and we've got the Page of Cups reversed. So what do these cards mean? Really indicative of emotional sort of toing and froing here, I think, because we've basically got some overindulgence going on. It feels like you've become overindulgent in a certain way. Now, literally, the Three of Cups is often associated with partying, so partying hard, okay? Very, very joyful when it's up this way. Turn this upside down, and this is like a massive hangover on a biblical level. It's like when you've partied way too much. But let's take that literal example and see how that could fit with other things, because your life is a snowflake, okay? Every single person's life is different because of your life experiences and choices and actions. Okay, so what this card can relate to is something where you've put too much energy, something where you focused more on, like, say, for example, you could have been studying too hard and neglecting the rest of your life. You could have been putting all your energy into one person or one activity and neglecting the rest of your life. It's about that putting too much energy into something, overindulging in something, and not focusing on the broader spectrum of things that you need to. Okay, I can see a couple of questions gone past on TikTok there, and I just like lose them once they've gone past. So at the end, I'll ask you to put questions in, and then if you can do it then I can get through some questions, because like I've managed to write a couple down, but I just can't see them going past. I will come up with a solution to that, hopefully over the weekend. So, something that you've overindulged in. But we're going to put that right, because what you've got there as well on an emotional level, we've got a Page of Cups. Now, the pages are about new beginnings. They can be about messages as well. So you might get a message from somewhere over the next few days, which sort of reconfirms that you've been overindulging in something. But they can also be, and I'm like leaning towards this explanation, okay? It's a new beginning on an emotional level. It feels like, now you think about a page energy, the pages are the children of the royal family of the tarot, so they've got that bright childlike naivety. They're fearless, they're carefree, they're excited by things. Cups are creative, emotional, inspired. Okay, so we've got a bit of a juxtaposition going on here, because we've got the overindulgence in something which can be emotionally draining. We are talking cups after all, and it's like it gets your emotions sort of unbalanced. But then we've got a new beginning. So these are really positive cards, because I see you putting down, let's say, let's use the metaphor of the cup. All right, we're going to put down the cup, we're going to put down the glass of wine. Okay, we're going to decide to do things differently, and that might be choosing to go on a health kick, choosing to do your positive affirmations every day, choosing a new spiritual path. This can also be, again, I'm not being deliberately vague, I'm giving you the options. I give you the dots, you join them, or I think as Mr. Steve said in the chat, I give you the crayons, you draw the picture. I like that one as well. This can be a new relationship. So it could well be that this card could be indicative of you wallowing in your own misery, sort of that after a bad time, wallowing in something, overindulging in whatever it is you choose to overindulge in. And then what we've got is a breath of fresh air. We've got the romance returning, and we've got a new track. So we've got two explanations of those cards. We've got lots of different dots that you could join here. But we have got a new beginning, potentially a new message, which is going to give you that like little sort of nudge that like things need to change. Okay, but certainly look at where you're overindulging, and certainly look for a new path, something new, something beginning that excites you. Okay, hello, no shy Sherlock, how are you doing? How's the dog? How was the dog walk? Right, that was number 3, and let's have a look where we're going next. We're going to go for number 12. I've just realised that I said I was going to choose number 2 for myself, and then I read number 2 and I wasn't listening, so I probably have to listen back to the recording, but I think I remember what I said. Right, we're going to go for number 12. Right. Oh, that's interesting pair of cards. We've got the 5 of Pentacles reversed. We've got the 7 of Swords reversed. So what do these cards mean? Okay. Right. I believe somebody has been working against you. I believe that there's been some scheming and skullduggery. I like that word, skullduggery. That's that 7 of Swords energy. It's like that sort of somebody has been doing something or saying something behind your back. Somebody is being a bit two-faced, and it feels like it's caused you quite an upset. Yeah, it feels like it could be something that's brought something negative around you. And I'm not talking like negative as in sickness and like chaotic things and accidents. It's just that emotional unsettlement. It's just that, you find out that somebody hasn't been honest with you, or you find out somebody's been two-faced or talking about you, and you're like, it irritates you. It can make you feel like hurt, can't it? You can feel like you've been put in a position that you didn't want to be put in. Okay, so that's the energy that we're getting from that card. Now, teaming that with the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles can be about loss, and it can be about material loss or security loss. But in general, it talks about a loss when it's reversed that's returning to you. So these cards have got a bit of a karmic feel about them. It's like something's been done, some scheming, some skullduggery, okay, which has caused a loss. Now, the loss doesn't have to be monetary. It's never nice when it is, though, is it? But it can be, a loss of faith in somebody, loss of trust, loss of happiness, just like that losing of your mojo, okay? But the reversal on this card is really important in this contextual relationship between these two cards, because it's indicative of that thing returning. It's like it has to play out, all right? But it's going to become apparent what's been going on behind your back. And once you've got that, you're in a position to straighten things out. And it's like the wheels of karma, like change. I would have loved to have pulled like the Wheel of Destiny in here, Wheel of Fortune, sorry, as well with this, because that would solidify it. That would be like, okay, well, what was taken from you or what was lost is now returning, because it's that Wheel of Fortune, of destiny, of karma, which is like paying back. It's like, I find that, that the universe tends to balance, doesn't it? It's like that. I often talk about that push me, pull you energy. It's like when the physics thing, the laws of physics, that one of the first things you get taught at school is like, there is, for every force there is an equal and opposing force. And you tend to see the same with tarot. And look at the natural world, it's like that life and death cycle. When one thing suffers, another thing gains. Think about like the lion bringing down the zebra, okay? But these things have to happen. It's that exchange of energy, so that it's going to become apparent that force is going to change around, and karma will play out, and the universe will balance itself in this situation. Lynn, that is such a nice message to see, that you feel better, and that's really good. That message there will mean that this morning has been worth it for me to do these cards. So that's grand to hear, Lynn. So if you've chosen number 1, expect karma to play out and this thing to return to you. Okay, so the time for being upset about that is drawing to a close, thankfully. Right, back onto my second screen. Remember, if you're on TikTok, you can't see this screen, but you could if you went to YouTube at Sky Spirit Creations. Right, I nearly sang a jingle there, didn't I? Right, we're going to go for number 11. Number 11, we've got the Four of Cups reversed, we've got the Ten of Wands reversed. Okay, what do these cards mean? Right, so it feels like you're weighed down emotionally. This is emotional baggage, okay? This Ten of Wands reversed is like really oppressive. It's like you need to put this thing down, okay? You're not going to get to your destination where you're trying to get if you keep carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. This card will also often come up in this sort of orientation when you're talking about somebody who's caring for somebody who's sick or has put a lot of energy into caring for somebody, and it's so difficult, right? And it's like you need time for yourself. Yeah, you need time to be able to to rejuvenate to put your emotions back on a level. Now, it doesn't always just refer to a carer. It can refer to somebody who just cares too much about what's going on around them, what's happened in the past, what other people think of them. It's that sort of you're weighed down by expectation, and that expectation can come from yourself as much as it can come from somebody else. Now, that ties into the next card. I just want to show you that way up. If you can see that, both on TikTok up there and on YouTube down there, because I have my phone sanitized up there. Professional as ever. What that is, like, if you look, right, that woman sat with her back against a tree, so she's got her back against the wall, right, metaphorically. So she feels cornered. There's opportunities in front of her. There's an opportunity being handed to her through a cloud by a hand, okay? It's like, here, take this opportunity. But she's like, she can't see it, right? She's missing the opportunity. And that's because she's so weighed down by the weight that's on her shoulders, this emotional baggage. It's like she has become beaten down. Yeah, beaten down to such an extent where the choices and the opportunities that are presented, just she doesn't see them anymore. She or he doesn't see them anymore. They're not apparent because she's looking down like this. So the message of these cards is bright and clear, and it's okay, we need to shed this weight. However you choose to do it, it's time to let some of these things go, because that's not your weight to carry. Okay, it's time to put it down, because to reach the destination that's illustrated on this card, we've got another mountain there, okay, with a nice house on top of it. It's actually a castle. So it's like that's the destination on this card. Remember, your home is your castle. Yeah, it's like you're coming home. You're coming to the place where you should be. It's like that, when you finally find yourself with somebody or somewhere where you're like, I feel like I've come home. It's like that's the energy of that card. But when this is up like this, it's like if you don't put down these emotional burdens, you're not going to see the opportunities, and you're not going to make it to this castle. So these two cards, the contextual relationship between these two cards is all about self-work, working on yourself. All right. Now, the sad thing about working on yourself, I think it's sad because I'm lazy. And actually that card can indicate that as well. But nobody's going to do it for you, all right? That working on yourself takes effort, okay? It takes some honesty with yourself, and you might need to be doing something over and over and over and over again to solidify it in your mind that this is the way you're going to do it, and you're not going to go down this path again. You need to find ways to relieve the emotional burden. Could well be that, for example, a literal example, you might be so worried about what other people think of you about something that you turn down a lot of social engagements. Remember, this is a literal example. I give you the dots, you join them. So you are missing out. You could be missing out on so much stuff, okay? Missing out because you're weighed down by the weight of other people's expectations. That's a literal example of how these cards work together. So the work that you'd need to do in that situation would be like saying, okay, right, I've got social anxiety. The more I stay in and don't socialize and worry about what people think, the worse it's becoming. Yeah. So it would be like, let's take some small steps, go out, walk down the end of the street, go to the shop at the end of the road, do those things and gradually increase what you're doing. And that's the self-work that would take a long time, because sadly, there isn't really a quick switch and a quick fix for a lot of these situations, okay? So those are really empowering cards, we're going to say. Those are empowering cards. You need to put down those burdens and you have the power to do so. So going back to my card screen here, for those of you on YouTube, we're going to go for number 4. Number 4, I've got the the Page of Swords reversed, and we've got the Lovers. This is interesting. Okay, right. What do these cards mean? Straight away we see the Lovers and we think relationships. All right, so let's just put that one to the side for now, because the important card, I think, here, even though the Lovers is the major arcana card, the sort of important caveat that we're working with when we're working with the Lover's energy here is this Page of Swords reversed. Now, this is looking like potentially you might have expected a relationship or something about a relationship to go one way, but it isn't going to go that way. At first, that could feel like a bit of a blow. I'm not going to lie. All right. It could feel that this is something that you didn't want to happen. Okay. Or it could feel the other way that this card can play out is it's sometimes about digging and uncovering information that you didn't want to know. So, you know, when we do that stalky thing and we start looking at people's social media and looking at their background and all that kind of thing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't really want to hear that. Didn't want to know that about that person I'd set my heart on. That would be a literal explanation of these two cards working together. Okay. It's like that sort of news. But in that situation, imagine, good morning, Nacy, how are you doing? Or good evening, I think it is for you, isn't it? I think you're in Australia. So these cards work, that would be a literal explanation of these cards working together, where, you know, you'd found out something about somebody, so you didn't go down that path of having a relationship with them, which turned into a good thing because they weren't the right person for you. So it was a good thing that you found out sooner rather than later. That's a literal explanation. Doesn't mean to say that's how it relates to you. So if you chose number 4, think about what is this information that could be uncovered that perhaps isn't what you would want to hear. Now, can be to do with somebody you're in a relationship with, somebody you want to be in a relationship with, or it can be, going to be a little bit vague here, I have to say, can be just about a choice that you're making, which is about how you feel about things, about your relationship with something, if you see what I mean. So interpret that as you will, but it feels like there is this sense of uncovering some information which feels like it's like, I didn't want to know that, or it's not particularly positive. It's like, for example, you might have this wonderful business idea about importing herbal supplements from China. Okay, this might feel like the best idea you've ever had. Okay, and then so you start to do a little bit of digging, and then you find out that's like, oh well, actually there's all sorts of legalities and all sorts of problems with that, and it's not really what you wanted to find, because you might have like thought this was going to be, or like Dragon's Den moment where you're going to start this wonderful new business. But it's like, it's better that you knew this information than go down the line of actually starting this relationship with a new business, with a new potential business partner in China. And then it's sort of you getting into all sorts of hot water later. Okay, so that's a really obscure example, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how these two cards don't just have one meaning. It's the dots. You have to join them to how they fit with your unique snowflake of a life. Yeah, and I don't mean snowflake as in you're a snowflake, as in you're like easily offended. I mean that your life is unique as each snowflake is. Okay, so those cards are, again, empowering, I would say. We're using empowering this morning. Let's go back to the card screen, which is on YouTube only at Sky Spirit Creations. And we've gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on 5. 6 of Cups reversed. And then we've got Justice. I like the Justice card. Of course, we like the Justice card when it's this way up. Everybody likes a bit of justice, a bit of karma playing out. So what do these cards mean when we look at them together? Good morning, wench. How are you doing today? How are things in Norway? I think it's Norway, isn't it? So these two cards together would be, right, somebody from the past that's wronged you, okay? Because our Six of Cups card is about nostalgia, and it's about those ties with the past. This is a really karmic pairing because it's like something from the past this justice is going to be dished out in dollops. Yeah, it feels like that sort of thing that occurred in the past, thing that has brought you down. This is a reversal, so it's not a particularly positive card when it's that way up. It's like cutting ties with the past, letting go. And sometimes it's difficult to let go, isn't it? Until we see that person serve their serving of karma. And then we can just go, yes, they got what they deserve. And then we walk away from it and we feel justified and smug. So it's that sort of situation. It's something that happened in the past, a person, a situation. That's interesting, Sam 3. I like that one. I like a shivery moment. That's always a good sign that your intuition's kicking in and working for. Do you know I have like what I call the chest of truth, because it's not my actual way of saying it, but I can't say that on YouTube. The chest of truth. Think of the alliteration involved there. Whenever I'm like working with things like psychically and that, if I'm like seeing something and it's like coming, oh my, this is an amazing thing, this is absolutely spot on, I get tingles, yeah, on the chest. So it's the chest of truth. So you've got your truth shivers going on there. Right, so something from the past is being karmically sorted. Justice, we like justice, is being served just about something that happened in the past. This is a great situation because it means that you get to just sit back and let it all unfold, because it feels like the wheels are already in motion. Okay, so sit back, get your popcorn out and wait for that karma to play out, because somebody, if they wronged you, is going to get it right in the neck. Okay, now I'm going down the negative route here, but we could also look at this in a positive way, couldn't we? Because it could be that somebody from the past has done something that's really, really good for you. Somebody has done something fabulous in the past, okay, which could also be karmically played out. So we're looking at two opposites there, aren't we? But do you know, the truth is tingling here. I think we're just going to go with that karmic play out, with that somebody might have wronged you in the past, to be honest, because that feels like it means more to me at the moment. So I feel like we're going to go down that route. All right, but remember, they're your dots. Yeah, so something from the past is playing out. Justice will be served. All right, let me know how that works for you, because I love to hear these things. Wench, I'll just note that down. I've only picked up 3 questions that I've saw go past. So if you have got a question, if it's really important, try to put it in at the end. And then hopefully I'll be able to see them. I do apologise if I've missed people's questions. So that was number 5. Where are we going next? Let's have a look. Oh, something's going on in TikTok. My screen has gone dark. Live will end. Oh, hang on. No, I've got to do something. Just bear with me. I've got to drag a puzzle piece across to there. That's crazy. Like, it does this thing. Did this on Monday, because this is only the second time live on TikTok, and like about now, we must be on the hour, you like have to do this thing on the screen with putting a piece of jigsaw and another bit, otherwise it just cuts you off, I assume, because I've done it both times and we've stayed live. So hopefully we stay live today on TikTok. That will be good. So we're going to go for number 10. 10, 6 of wands, 9 of cups. I was like, was that a 6? No, it's a 9. It's upside down. Right, what do these cards mean? Let's have a look at these cards. Right, if you chose, I should say, number 10, or if this is resonating with you, we've got a little bit of a dilemma, okay? Because something that you've been trying to achieve, something that you've been working towards, something that you've wished for, you ain't getting it, okay? You're not getting it going down this route that you're going down, all right? So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, keep that goal, certainly keep that goal, okay? But you really need to look at how you're trying to get there, okay? Because the method or the route that you're taking at the moment doesn't seem to be the one that's going to get you the winnings. And I say winnings because we've got the 6 of wands coming in there. The 6 of wands, look at this guy. He's riding back from battle. He has got a wreath on the top of his stick. That means that he has been successful and he's had victory in battle. So these two cards together, they're a real juxtaposition, because you're being told you're not getting what you want going down this same route, okay? change that route though, because it feels like what you're trying to achieve is yours, right? It's almost in the bag, but you need to change something in order to solidify that, in order to actually get it, right? So you don't need to change the thing that you're trying to get. This is going to sound so convoluted. You don't need to change the thing that you're trying to get. So your goal is fine, yeah? Your goal is still there and it's still achievable. The way that you're going about getting it is the thing that needs to be changed, right? But this card says that this is a real confirmation that victory is within your grasp. Yeah, it couldn't be clearer than that. It's like victory is waiting for you, but you need to change your methodology, we'll say. Your methods need changing. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do things differently, then I don't have an answer for you for that. I'm sorry, I'd have to pull more cards than two. But at least if you know that that's sort of something you need to consider, you don't just blindly keep going down the same route. So think about, if you've been trying to get somewhere and it just doesn't seem to be happening for you, you perhaps need to look at changing the way that you're trying to get there, changing what you're doing, trying it from a different angle. Yeah, trying to achieve the same goal using a different method would be what I would interpret these two cards as meaning. All right, but that's the good news, is that goal is yours. Feels like it is playing out, feels like it's coming to you, but you need to change your tact. Okay, back over to our cards here. If you're on YouTube, if not, I'll describe them for you on TikTok. We've gone for number 8, isn't it? And we've got strength and we've got the High Priestess. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cards. Okay. Right. 2 major arcana cards. And major arcana means major life transformations. And get 2 coming out like this, it's like bang. Something's changing, something's transforming for you. This is a really important time for you. Now, where I see these cards really playing out, okay, and this is all about intuition and inner strength, okay, and it's like your powers of intuition are getting this, like, this is like a power boost. Imagine it's like turbo boost into the back of the High Priestess, right? So your High Priestess is getting a power boost by this amazing lion here of strength. So it feels like you're, oh, and this is awesome, because if you think, right, we're getting to the full moon as well, full moon tomorrow, okay? So it's like, again, your powers of intuition will be strengthened with the full moon if you subscribe to that. If you don't, that's up to you. But it feels to me like your intuition is coming really on point here. It's like the powers are building, and what you need to do is trust your intuition. Because if we look at this card, the illustrations in tarot work like a storybook. They work like a narrative. And sometimes I think the best thing that people can do when they're learning tarot, all right, learn your meanings, learn them from a book, and then bin the book, or better still, burn it under the full moon, okay? Because sometimes you have to use more than what you read in a book, okay? You look at those illustrations. So we're talking about strengthening your intuition, okay? And we're looking at the lion, and we're looking at this woman who has literally got her hands in the lion's jaws, because she's being fearless and she's being trusting, because she's trusting that lion not to just bite her hands off basically and then turn around and bite her head off as well, just for good measure. She's being trusting. She's trusting in the process, trusting that she has the power, that she has the strength to gently coax the lion's jaws open by giving him a little pat on the head and playing with his mouth, and he's just like, ah, meow. But she isn't forcing it, but she's resolute nonetheless. She's trusting and she's strong. So these 2 cards working together would say to me that, right, your intuition is coming to be so strong at the moment, but you need to trust it. It's like, the message from the cards is trust your inner self, trust your intuition, accept that your intuition can guide you, accept that that's a power that you have. Think about it, right? I mean, you will have heard this before, like thousands of years ago, all we had was our intuition. We certainly didn't have Google, that's for sure. So when we wanted to know something, we went within. Yeah, we use that intuition so much more. Intuition, I believe, is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Maybe you need to buy some tarot cards and start using them. Or maybe you need to buy some other tool of divination and just play with it. Get to know it. Familiarize yourself with it. I've had these cards for decades, and like, Each of those cards I have a personal relationship with because I've seen it come up in many different ways for many different people that I've read for. And each time it does, it adds another layer to the meaning. So my relationship, I have a full relationship with each one of the 78 cards. And that relationship will be different for each tarot reader because it's been built up. Yeah. I just digressed there totally, didn't I? But basically, I'm saying, like, use that intuition, exercise it, find something that appeals to you, that uses the intuition and use it. I mean, why not? You could try dowsing. Go out dowsing for water, or just try to use your intuition when you're dealing with people. Listen to that inner voice. If you think, I don't like you, then don't have anything to do with that person, or, oh, I don't know if I should take this job, or I don't know if I should do this, or perhaps just go for a walk and follow your nose. Yeah, just walk. There's an art called forest bathing, and I used to know the Japanese word for it, and I've just forgotten what it is. Don't know if anybody can tell me in the chat. There's the art of Japanese forest bathing. Basically means that you just go out into the forest and you just start to walk. Okay, you don't make a plan, you don't take a map. I would just get totally lost, so I haven't actually done it to this extent. But you literally just follow your nose, follow your intuition, and it's supposed to be very, very healing. Okay, so why not do something like that? Don't make a plan for the day, just go with the flow. Okay, that's strengthening your intuition, because these are two cards that are saying your intuition's strong, but trust it. Okay, I like those cards. That was a really interesting combination, wasn't it? Right, okay, final two cards for this morning before I look at some questions. And you can hear my dogs barking in the background because I think my parents have just arrived to have coffee, and that's what they do. Oh, interesting cards. I must stop saying interesting cards. Shut up, dogs. Right. So what we've got here, we've got the Tower reversed and we've got the Two of Wands. So this is, somebody is knocking on my door. I should just say go away. Go away. Right. Tower reversed and Two of Wands upright. Okay, so what do we have here? We've basically got the fact that you're going through some big changes. Your Tower is a card of transformation, okay? And it means that there's something happening which is could feel really like you're being tipped over on your head, like the tower upside down, okay? But it's something that needs to happen. It's something that has to be changed in order for you to progress, okay? Something needs knocked down to the foundations to be rebuilt again. Something needs to be dead to you in order for you to continue. An old way needs to change in order for you to start a new way. And the reason I'm saying that is because we've got the Two of Wands there. Just bear with me. I'm just going to have a quick look out the window just to make sure I haven't... I'm back. Sorry, I was just being super professional there and locking my parents out, and I had to go and let them in because I'd left the door locked. Right, yes, Zach, Shinrin Yoku. I can't pronounce it, but thank you very much. That's the Japanese art of forest bathing that I was on about. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. In theory, I think I'd probably get lost. I have a condition called prosopagnosia, which means I don't recognize people. But I also find it very, very difficult to recognise surroundings, no sense of direction whatsoever. So I have to be super careful when I go to the forests and things like that. That's why I tend to walk on the beach, because you will only go one way or the other way, following the coast along. So have you heard me? I'm so out of breath because I've just run downstairs. So that's really unfit. Right. So something needs knocked down. That's your tower upside down. And I'm saying that because that card... got the window open now, so we've got like light on the card. That card is the Two of Wands. Now, what that is about is planning new things and making sort of new choices. Once this situation is out the way, it has to be cleared because we've got new plans to make. Now, if you look at this guy here, he has got the world in his hands. Now my cat's meowing at the door. He's got the world in his hands, okay? And he's looking over the horizon at something new. Those two ones that he's holding are about, that's the old, here's the new, looking out over the horizon at new things. It's new directions, potentially overseas travel. However, in general, I think that's a bit specific. I think it's more about the world is your oyster. The world is in your hands. We need to get rid of this, okay? This needs to go. It's something that you have to go through. Sometimes change is painful, all right? But imagine yourself, these two cards, I would say, if I had to name this duo, I'd say it's the Phoenix duo, okay? This is you rising from the ashes. This is the ashes. We sweep these aside. We take a new path and you grow and you improve, okay? So things are better over the horizon. Got a horizon here, looking towards it. It's like you need to go through this transformation in order to grow and change. Right, so that is our 12 double card pickup finished. I'm going to go through a few questions. If you have a question, this would be the best time to put it in so I can try to see if I can find them. I've got 3 questions written down here. I'm sure there's been a few more though, particularly on TikTok, because that's harder for me to see. So if I see any now, I might be able to pick them up. Let's just... KLG, you have no sense of direction either. No, it's so difficult. Honestly, I once got lost in a pub. I was in a pub and it was like there was a live music. It was a live music venue. So there was like a band on in a different room. And I went to the toilet, right? And honestly, I don't know why they would do this, but this pub had a toilet and it had 2 doors. One door went out to the music venue, so the room where the band was playing, and one door went back into the rest of the bar. And I literally went out the wrong door. And then, so I was in the same pub as my friends, but like I couldn't find them because like I couldn't work out like what had gone, what was different. And I started having like a panic attack because I was lost in a pub. And I had to like get somebody to go and find them, which was a bit embarrassing. I also did that in a multi-story. I know it's like lots of people do lose their cars, but I got so lost with trying to find my car in a multi-story that security had to like take me into their office and get all the levels of the multi-story on their CCTV. We were like, is that your car? Is that your car? Is that your car? And this was like at somewhere called the Metro Centre near me, down near Newcastle. So it was rather embarrassing because the car park's just like enormous. It's huge. It's just like super thousands of cars that they had to go through. They must have been thinking, this woman is just nuts. Right. Yes, Cats, the Goblin King got me in the pub massively. Yeah. I mean, it's not the first or last time I've done that either. In fact, it might be the last time because it's not very often I get to go to a music venue anymore, sadly. Right. Okay. So I'm going to go through the 3 quick questions that I've got written down to start with. Yeah, okay. Right, we've got a question from Stacey as well up there. I'm just writing this down. Quickly, and I probably won't be able to read my own writing when I've finished. Right, okay, so minimal theatres. I think it's minimal theatres, and that would be, and we're just, minimal theatres is asking for just any messages. So we're going to do a quick 3 cards for you, minimal theatres. Are there any messages from source for minimal theatres? Let's see. Yes. Okay, so we have got the Hierophant reversed, we've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got Judgment coming out there as well. So there's an alternative path for you. This is a card of unorthodox ways. This is a card of crossroads. Remember, Judgment, unorthodox ways, new beginnings. All right, so there's something on the cards for you, literally, which is talking about choosing an alternative path, going down an alternative route, choosing something which is none orthodox, not the normal way of doing things. Something which is alternative, like alternative healing, things like that come under this. That would be what's the message for you, minimal theatres, is there's something waiting for you. There's your Ace of Wands moment. Excuse the light on that card there. You can see it better on TikTok, actually, strangely. So there's a new opportunity waiting for you. There's a new way forward, but it's alternative, okay? It's a new path. It means leaving something else behind. You're going to have to choose, okay? You're going to be choosing between a well-trodden path and a not well-trodden path, but these cards would suggest choosing that alternative path, the not well-trodden path, something which could seem like more challenging to start with, seems to lead you to this better place, this new beginning, this way forward with this Ace card, this Ace of Wands, which is a really, really good card if you're feeling a bit jaded with life and you need something to change, okay? So, and I've just got a message that I've used 80% of my data on my phone, so we're not going to be able to do this on Friday, so I'm going to have to find a different way of doing it. So, sadly, I wondered how much data it would use, and now I know. Okay, so Tracy, will Craig get back in touch? I hope you're still with us, Tracy. Let's have a look. Will Craig get back in touch? Yes. Okay, we've got Wheel of Destiny, which is like it's playing out. The wheels are turning. This is going to happen. And we've got the Knight of Swords here. Now, that would be indicative of Craig returning to you, okay? Getting back in touch, because it's like you allow him to do it, though. Don't you be chasing, okay? Because it feels like this will be on the cards anyway. Feels like he will get back in touch. But do you want him to? Because he comes out also as the King of Cups reversed, who can be somebody who can be quite hurtful, quite violent, if not physically, then mentally or verbally. It's somebody who isn't in touch with their emotions, who isn't in touch with, they don't wear their heart on their sleeve, or they're emotionally unavailable, okay? So it feels to me like the Knight will rush to be back in touch, okay? That will play out, but you need to make a decision as to whether it's worth it, whether they're the right person for you to be waiting to get in touch, if you see what I mean. So that was for Tracy. Sorry, that isn't great news, is it? I mean, it is if you just want him to get back in touch, but remember, forewarned is forearmed, and you might want to consider your motivations for wanting him to get back in touch. Okay, now we've got Wench with just like one card. Wench, you're going to get 3 because we like 3 cards. Okay, so we have got the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is talking about a new career, I believe. But I think this is talking about something to do with your career or work, or something like there's a new opportunity around work, career, things that you do, task-based, yeah? Even if you don't have an actual paid job, we have things that are like work, don't we? But this card here, this 3 of Pentacles reversed, would indicate that you need to look at upskilling, or there's a gap in your skills that you need in order to strategize a way forward to become the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is that leader. It's the manager at work. It's the person in charge of their own life. It's the person who feels balanced, who feels grounded, who is earthy, and they've got their feet firmly on the ground. In order to find that stability, it feels like you need to upskill. There's something that you need to learn. There's a gap in your knowledge, or somewhere that something, there's a way that you can use education to feel more like that Queen of Pentacles. And that's indicated by that 7 of Swords, which is a card of not just skullduggery, but strategy, strategizing, putting your ducks in a row, deciding, right, long-term plans. What am I going to do? I'm going to do this course because I want to do this in the future. That is the reading from those 3 cards. Okay. Right, I've got a question also from Stacey, wasn't I? So, is that guy, was it Richie, I believe? Is he pursuing somebody else, and is it somebody that I know? Do you know, this is like one of my least favourite questions to answer, because I always say it as I see it. And so I don't pull the punches here. And it's like, it can hurt, can't it, if you get the wrong answer? So, let's let's have a look anyway, though. So I hope you're still listening, Stacey. Let me see. Right. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just re-looking at the question here. Feel like there's two men here. Why am I getting two men? I've got two kings. Now, these are often, I always say, well, they could be men, they could be women, but I'm finding there's like two people in charge and they're coming out as kings. They're coming out as men, two males. But you're asking, is he pursuing? And do you know her? So you're thinking it's a female. Now, I'm not saying that there is a male involved with him here, but it feels like there's a male who is involved with the situation. It'd be interesting to know whether Richie is a earth sign or a fire sign, and that would be indicative of which one of these kings would be representative of him. Okay, but it feels like there's two men, so he could be working with a friend. They could have been sort of tag teaming here. It's like, has he been going out with a guy who perhaps they've been sort of going to bars or something like that? But what I have got here as the third card is the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, the Nine of Wands up this way, this is the wounded soldier. This is somebody who's standing their ground, okay? Now, with this being reversed, this feels like you need to let your guard down a little bit. It feels like you've got walls, right? Because you've put up with a lot of, you've got trust issues, because you've put up with a lot of things that have gone wrong in the past with relationships. It's potentially that you are seeing things not as they truly are. It feels like you need to let that side of it go. You need to be more relaxed and more open and be more vulnerable with your heart, because there are some really, really strong walls around it. So I'm going to say that it doesn't feel like there's this sense of pursuing somebody else or that you know her. That's not coming out at all. What it does feel like is these walls that you've put up around you may have pushed him away or been something that caused problems, okay? But there's definitely two men coming out there. So I'd be interested to know how that comes out for you. Let me know if you find out what those two men are, Stacey, because I'll be honest, that isn't clear to me, but there's definitely two. One of them's fire, one of them's earth. So is he fire or earth, or does he have fiery or earthy qualities? Is he quick to fly off the handle? Is he more practical and stable? Okay, be interesting to know. Freedom for life. Will I get a new home I will be content with? Let's have a look. Okay. Right. So it feels like you're going to. It feels like you've already seen that home, right? So I've got my Six of Cups, which is nostalgia of the past, and it's something that's happened in the past that you already know of about. It feels like you've already seen this house, or you know of this house, okay? But I do feel like you're going to have more than one choice when it comes to homes, okay? So it's important that you focus on choosing the right one in order to ensure that you're content with it. Because what I've also got here is the Hierophant. This can be about house, like, things, because it's organizations, structures, corporations, that sort of thing. But it's also can be making a choice that is more mainstream. So it would be the one, if you get a choice of two homes here, right? It feels like you're going to be content, but you need to make sure you choose the right one, obviously. But it's like choose the one that's got the more standard appeal, if that makes sense. So do a poll of your friends, and like, this is the friends who are really quite normal and run of the mill, okay? Ask them what they think, okay? Because it feels like the one that is sort of the most popular choice is going to be the one for you, because there might be something about the other one that's is like appealing, but differently. There's something weird about it, or there's something unusual. That would not be the choice to make, okay? Feels like you're going to be content, but it's like the mainstream choice that you have to make, okay? And I see that you've said that Mandy has pinned a question, KLG, but I don't know how to find that. Oh, No, I found it. Will I find my person this year? Mel. Okay, right. Mel, will I find that works, doesn't it? I like the way that works on TikTok. It's a shame it doesn't work on what I'm using. I'm using Prism Live to stream to YouTube, so I don't think it works on there, but I will have a look. Maybe there is a facility to do that. Okay. Thank you, Stacey, for that feedback. That's great. Right. Mel, will I find my person this year? Oh. Right, okay. First of all, we've got the death card for you, Mel. That doesn't mean that you're going to die or they're going to die. Do not panic, okay? What it means is that there's something that needs put to bed first, all right? Before you find your person, somebody else needs to be properly dead to you, okay? And it feels like this is a person that you are still, there's that giving and receiving card, giving and taking. Feels like you're still giving too much of yourself to somebody else or a past event, or there's a relationship from the past that's taken too much from you. You're not ready for that person as yet, okay? You're not ready for a new relationship as yet, because we need to put something to bed. Something needs to change, okay? Now, what I have got, the third card, you'll be happy to know, is the Lovers card. So it feels to me like when we're asking specifically that question, will you find your person within this year? We're saying, yes, that is going to happen. But what you need to be sure of is that you're in the right position to enter that new relationship. Now look at that giving and receiving card nestled between the Lovers and Death, two major arcana cards. That's a transformation, and that's the gate. Okay, giving, receiving. You need to stop giving too much of yourself to this past person or situation, because you need to be ready to give and receive with the new person that comes into your life. So we like those very much. They're brilliant cards, Mel. Will I meet my boyfriend in person next month? Nell, let's have a look. If you are on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that, because it really helps me, and it'll mean that I can maybe one day afford the data to stream on my phone to TikTok as well, because it looks like I'm going to have used all my data and we're going to have to change methods of doing this at some point. But yeah, please do subscribe. I don't charge for these readings or time, and it just means eventually when I get enough followers on YouTube, I'll get a little bit of money in the back pocket to pay for things like data. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. It takes you a second, doesn't cost you anything. Nell, let's have a look. Will you meet your boyfriend in the next month? All right, so that person's already on the scene for you, okay? Could be somebody that you've already rejected, who you might have another chance with, or somebody that you discounted, okay? Now, whatever they are, it feels like they're a really stable person, and you might well have overlooked them because you might think they're just, yeah, they're not as exciting as you'd like them to be. Feels like they're a real stable person. Now, when I ask if you're going to meet them this month, we've got a Knight. Knights are very often about things moving in quickly. Okay, so I'm going to take this as a very specific question, all right? But I'm going to take this as, yeah, they're in your life already, okay? So that does mean this month, but it feels like they're like, look at the Knight sort of galloping around the periphery here, waiting for you to re-notice them, okay? Waiting for you to say, okay, perhaps let's give this a chance, all right? So look out for somebody that's already within your sphere of influence, perhaps, or already within your circle of people, okay? And that is basically, that's it for this morning, because my phone's about to run out. So thank you very much for being with me this morning. It's been lovely to spend time with you, and stay weird. Meet me again here on Friday. I'll try to sort out some data or something to do TikTok as well. So thank you for being with me, and it's been